Here, in the remote forested regions of upstate New York, there's a team of men and women dedicated to creating the music of the future. They are the men and women of Club Dub.
Oh, hi! Welcome to Club Dub. What a nice surprise. Come on in. Gee, we don't have visitors quite as often as we once did, I must say. Sure is a treat. You're just in time. We're working on a very special project here right now. Well, would you like to have a look around? It's our, this is the tree base research site. This is where the vast majority of the computer-based technology and research is being performed on a regular basis. We approach it in a very holistic and natural way. This explains our base in the treetops here. We like to work before the glowing rays of the setting sun and like that. Okay, well you're just in time for a very special surprise because one of the many things we're working on here at Club Dub is crossing barriers and bringing all forms of music to all different kinds of people. And one of the real problems with that internationally in a historical context is the language barrier. And what we have now is we've developed a database of 50,000 words and phrases which between the tape recorder and the computer and or live conversation, we're able to translate traditional Rastafarian patois into suburban American English. And this way we're bringing whole new realms of communication really to the planet. So if you'd like to watch, I can boot it up for you. We'll do a little dry run here, okay? Let's see. All right. Okay. Any minute now. Easy.
Boss boy, boss. Well, I said to find you, I'm looking for that trail of dollar bills. No. Only thing to finish up now. You hear right out around the back.
There we go. Punch it up on the computer. Here it comes.
I am going back to the mall. Let's do lunch soon.
Who would have known? That's really what he was saying, and this brings us to a whole new situation. So here we have it, and 500,000 words and phrases. We're really being able to bring this all together, and we hope this will be on the market in the very near future, and we'll be distributing it through reggae clubs and record companies, and we'll have the like the home video version of the patois suburban American English version. So.
People call you so much dirty names. They're using you to play their kinky games. And when they're done, they turn their back on you. Saying you want some sex.
research and development. I guess I wasn't sure that there was a such thing as development. I used to be one of the people that would look at a stage full of young white guys playing reggae music and wonder what they were trying to do. And as I listened to more music, and realized there was place for everyone in reggae music, and it was happening everywhere. And well, I just came back from Kansas, and I heard a bluegrass band playing reggae there, and it sounded pretty wonderful. It's obvious there's some common denominator that says something to people playing music everywhere. And it's become a lot more a part of me than I would have guessed probably a year ago.
Oh, thank you very much. One by Jak Bartels.
trombone for a long time, and that's why I learned to play the trombone, because that's what we had in the house, lots of trombones. Now, he has a hard time dealing with the fact that I'm playing guitar in a reggae band in Ithaca now, but it was time for someone to break away from the trombone, I think. Although he did make me play guitar in his big jazz band for a couple of years. That was a good proving ground, I suppose. I don't know. What else should I talk about?
What else? What did you play in high school?
First I started on the glockenspiel because those have the letters inscribed right on the things, the notes. Any idiot can play the glockenspiel. And then when my arms got long enough to play the trombone, I started to play the trombone. We had a very small school. I was the only trombone player in the band. Then we got another trombone player, so they switched me over to the baritone horn. I was the only baritone horn player in the band. It's really exciting for me to be in Ithaca playing with other musicians that are playing the same instruments I'm playing.
This is Brooke Hines.
Okay, last time. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Ngozi Coles, our guest, special guest, Ngozi Coles here. Making her exodus from Ithaca. Thanks, Ngozi. We'd also like to introduce our secret weapon on drums, Harry Vanette, playing percussion now. Your music coordinator for the Ithaca Festival today on Sunday, Phillip Cohen. Mr. Fishhead himself on guitar, Jak Bartels. The lovely and talented Dr. Brooke Hines. We're going to start off this next one. That's Red King on this.
One thing I noticed was that most people around here are trying to escape into something that doesn't exist anymore. Like, there are a lot of people that are into old-timey music, for instance, or square dancing, contra dancing. And these are the same people that show a tremendous fear of what's going on today in the world for one reason or another. They just can't face the fact that they're living in a world where things are on such a big scale and that there's a threat of nuclear war, so they escape into this make-believe world of, well, let's just pretend that it's 100 years ago and we're still listening to this mountain fiddle music. And for them, music is kind of a way of just closing out what's really happening in the world and just saying, okay, look, it's fine, maybe the world's going to blow up, but for now I'm going to make believe that I'm in my little mountain village and wear my Birkenstocks and jump around, listen to the fiddle music and make believe it's in 1890s or something. And it's true with a lot of different kinds of music, like blues, for instance. People are stuck in this blues, and you can't hear a new blues tune. I mean, you know what's going to happen in the blues. I mean, you heard the chord progression before, you're going to hear it again. It's not going to change. And people feel comfortable with this unchanging quality of music. So I guess what we're trying to do is forget about that and just go ahead with music and not worry about the fact we're not Jamaicans, okay? We weren't born in Jamaica, but this is a musical form that we enjoy. Maybe we can do something with it. Maybe what we do isn't going to work, but the thing is we're trying something new. And we just feel that
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Jag. It's just a typical day in Jamaica.
Right. So,
Speak up.
speak up? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've played together before before this band, right?
We played together.
How long ago was that?
1983 or 4.
Something like that.
We played together in my bedroom in my parents' house with the band called, remember the name?
No, I don't.
Maybe we didn't have a name yet then. Hunker Down.
Hunker Down.
We played at a party once in about 1984, the following year. That was our performance.
That was the band, not me. I wasn't a permanent member.
No, Jack wasn't.
I just came and played for a couple times and said, boy, these guys are really pretty weird.
Pretty loud, pretty raucous. Not that much like reggae or anything.
Not at all like reggae.
It was kind of like punk music.
So how'd you get into reggae?
I got into reggae when I was working at the radio station, and I came out of work, and I was dressed up, and it was summertime, and I was really uncomfortable, and it was hot, and I was walking down the Commons, and Jorge stopped me and told me about this reggae band he was putting together, and that was it.
That was it.
I played percussion. I was awful. The band fell apart at the time, the band. But it, like, reshuffled around, and that was it. It became Iphoria. But how did I get into it in another way?
Well, yeah.
I loved it, you know, as a listener, but it never occurred to me. It just never occurred to me that I could play it, or what it was like to play it. I'd listened to records and said, or thought, that's great, but that's not, you know.
Yeah.
So I never tried it, but I did. Worked out all right. I guess it worked out all right.
You're still here. Still playing.
So far. But it was definitely a shock musically because of it introduced the concept of syncopation in a way which I hadn't really encountered.
Yeah. That was definitely the thing that threw me for a loop, was just I mean, you play rock and roll for a real long time, and then you start playing reggae, and it's like, Jorge is always like, hey, like, you're too fast, or lay back a bit, or generally it was always going too fast. Like, in reggae, you sort of like guitar, the really precise place where the guitar goes is not on any beat, actually. It's like just after,
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to get used to.
Very.
It's real hard.
The neat thing about it is that it bounces back and forth between the different instruments. So it's kind of a rebound. So it doesn't come right on a beat, but it's
right. It's definitely a music that involves the whole band. You get into just a plain old rock and roll band, and drums and bass are laying down a basic line, and the guitars are doing whatever. And reggae, it's like everything is vitally important. Although you can drop instruments out here and there, you're not going to make a song about it.
because the part is still there.
Right.
When you drop it out.
Right. It's implied.
It's like a weaving, or a tapestry, or embroidery, or macrame.
Yeah.
Sort of. Rather than I don't know what kind. It goes like a net.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a funny concept because everybody occupies a different space.
Yeah.
But together, it is
makes
one
sense.
space, one way,
It's space.
one way.
Yep. So what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to school and all, and Iphoria will be a thing of the past. Unless you want to do Iphoria too out in Ann Arbor.
Music is a vital and integral part of my being, and it's not going to change. Other than that, that's it.
You don't have any big plans. You're not going to say now that, yeah, I'm going to go out there and start bringing up some musicians and see what I can get together.
Well, I definitely did say that, and I talked about all the bands I was going to be in. first. Now I don't know. It seems kind of strange to go to school as an English major with a musical ambition.
Ready? Signals on set. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is our new guitar player, Mr. John Harper. Newest addition to the Club Beltane.
Hi. Bill and Jack and John from right to left. I think reggae music is about waking up every morning and saying, "It's so beautiful that I'm alive again today." That's what I think you were trying to say, isn't it?
Well, sometimes I wake up and say, man, I feel like shit.
Yes.
So, and that's part of it too. Dark.
What really attracts me is the ensemble quality of it. And that, reggae, and I think that mirrors what should be a real life attitude. In terms of a reggae rhythm, the band, I see the band has basically a very rhythmic structure that's played ensemble-y. I don't know, that's not necessarily a word, but it's the best I can come up with, in which each member has a definite input into an entirety of a rhythm. The rhythm is not one person, the rhythm is not one section of the band. The rhythm is a product of the separate means of the band. And that's where the word ensemble comes in. And that definitely like a major example of cooperation.
Yeah.
And that comes into the all-one idea of it. If you think about it, has the many parts into a gestalt means. One part, one world. So if the whole world was in the same, it's kind of like if the whole world was in the same reggae band, it'd be a really good band. It'd be a great band. And if each part had the same vitality in terms of the importance, like nothing could survive without it. But if you think about it, that's the way it is. Where did we get this guy?
Sounds like a friend that I've never really gotten to know. We're getting to know each other.
That's great, isn't it? Why? I spent my 5.5 years at Cornell doing the book circuit.
When did I first meet you?
You met me in 1984. Where? At my house, I think. Or Mark Miller came over.
Right.
Futon.
That's right. Mark Miller saw you at Futon.
And then we had this party that was a completely disastrous party for us. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong and more.
Oh, like the waterbed meat or something like that.
Yeah, and I tried to siphon it off the side of the gorge and swallowed about a gallon of waterbed water in my lungs and hanging by a hose off the gorge, coughing.
You know that house that you can see off Stewart Bridge? No, wait.
Off the College Avenue Bridge.
You know, it's like straight ahead. It's like this thing that's like hanging right on the cliff. It's
Yeah,
like 4 stories high.
Other than the top floor of that.
Oh, that's terrible.
Trials and tribulations of college town living.
Yep.
Oh my God. So at that particular party, you were not all in the same reggae band,
No.
so to speak.
Nope.
The exciting.
Guitar for a while. Like, this is the first band I've ever been in, so it's definitely like playing, almost starting up from scratch, understanding what part fits where, and that's a majorly important thing, something that you don't get by playing by yourself. It's like random jamming where anything goes.
After hearing Iphoria, what was it like to play with Iphoria for the first time?
It was difficult. I thought it was difficult.
Challenging.
Yeah, it's definitely very challenging. In some cases, it's really minimalist, which is exceedingly challenging in the fact that you have to get down to the basic structures of the song, of the tune, of the rhythm, which in many cases I think a lot of players take for granted, just to be as ballsy as possible. Sorry to use like an incredibly male chauvinistic word, but I mean, in many cases people take guitar playing as a very male chauvinistic action. But if you take it as a musical form or an art form, and if you play it minimalistically, you're definitely breaking it down to its minimal parts, which I feel that many people just take for granted, don't pay attention to. Like, solid rhythm.
Thank you. We'd like to do a song, this next song is not about age, written by Jak Bartels.
great things about playing reggae drums that I've never visualized the same way as drumming to rock or the other music that I've attempted to play unsuccessfully. And it has to do with what John is saying about the minimalistic sort of style that you get into a lot of the time is the song structure and the rhythm are laid out so clearly because everybody is just locking together with the pieces, the smallest pieces they can. the whole structure comes out, and it's a lot of times it's like in a pyramidal structure, or it looks like it comes out as a wave, and the structure of the music it's just very clearly defined how, when you're playing it, very clearly defined how it comes, so that you can really in a lot of ways anticipate and feel like you're on a continuum with the whole song, rather than yeah, I guess you would call it hitting the groove. A lot of times that's really the difference between playing what on paper would be transcribed to be the same thing, to be one thing and sound awful, and to come out, there's a very slight difference, and it has to do with whether or not it's in focus.
Mm-hmm.
And on the rare occasions when I feel like, not the rare occasions, I should say that, on the occasions when I feel like that's happened, it's great, and it's positively euphoric.
It is totally euphoric. That's what I strive for all the time. I'm kind of a pleasure junkie that way. But it's a healthy way of being a pleasure junkie. Well, it can be a destructive way too if you don't know how to channel your energy. Energy is influenced by the disturbance we had this past weekend.
I find it interesting that that occasionally in different times, different members of the band will find what's happening euphoric, and occasionally you can tell immediately all four of us are right on, and other times I can tell that I am really enjoying a certain part of it that just seems to be happening, and other people are into playing it, but they're not, I don't think they're enjoying it to the degree that I am, and vice versa 3 times over, with 3 different people.
I think in a lot of ways it shows an emotional, we're not trained emotionally, and it's an inability to consistently maintain some kind of, I find it very difficult to maintain that euphoric feeling, where it comes in and out, and it's like what you were saying before about really striving for that. I think that's why we see kind of travel around.
Yeah. Don't hit that spot every so often.
Maybe it's a harmonic convergence of some
Of some sort, yeah. It's definitely, it happens when you're all hearing what's going on in a pleasurable way. It's not like, if you don't like the way something sounds, it's not because somebody's messing up, it's just they're hearing it differently.
Yeah.
And when you all hear it the same way, that's what that thing happens.
So in a sense, that's the thrill of coming to this music later in life, rather than having grown up completely immersed in it, is
Fresh discovery.
yeah, is finding it. That's what I was a little bit when I was thinking of when I asked what it was like to play with the band. Say, like, you're supposed to say it was an amazing revelation.
I wasn't queued up, I'm sorry.
Right. What I should have said was, what was it like the first time, like, you really, bore down on the groove?
I should have said euphoric.
It was euphoric.
Euphoric, yeah. I remember feeling really good when I first came in the band. I was just like so high. I mean, it was a pretty amazing week. It was like 1 week and 5 days of practicing. Then the first gig, and then the next gig right next night, and then opening for Burning Spirit, the third gig. I was high for a long time after that.
When it rains, pours.
I guess I may be jaded in a certain sense. It's like, oh no.
Well, how many changes is that for you gone through?
It's gone through a lot of changes.
I mean, I have no idea how many changes it's gone through.
You
Just
guys
since
are
I've been
the
in the
5th
band.
and 6th guitarists, I think, since we had the name.
get out of the way for the next band here.
Fine.